Hi, and welcome to Integrative Wisdom, Elder Care Coaching and Consulting. This is Verna, and I'm out here at the Center of Creative Transformation on a Thursday. Where has the week gone? Oh my gosh. So today's topic, elder care, being an elder. If you've seen any of the other videos, I've talked a little bit about both when you're not an elder yet and then becoming an elder, and also if you have an elder in your life. I've also talked about the fact that being older doesn't necessarily make you an elder. So we've had a lot of discussions, or I should say I've been chatting a lot about these different topics within the elder care arena. Today I went to the grocery store, and because I am an elder slash an older person, I was able to get in at 6 a.m. And, there's nobody in the store. So we're supposed to be safe from a lot of people being around and being exposed and that sort of thing. So um, it just was a perfect segue into this topic today, which is if I truly were older, would 6 a.m. be an opportune time for me to get up and go to the store? Right? Uh, the answer is it depends, actually. And I think a lot of what we're seeing in today's world is that there are no cut and dried, quick fix answers. There are no written in stone rules that we can use to do the right thing, to help as much as we would like to help, those kinds of things. As I was walking out the store, a gentleman was walking in and he didn't have his mask on, and he saw mine and he was like, oh. But then he started pointing here, and it turns out that he had a permanent trach and he couldn't talk. He could just mouth the words and basically could not breathe if he was wearing a mask. So I said, I'm sorry. I really felt for him. And it just, again, made me think about all the many ways that we can need assistance or need special consideration. And how sometimes, just a blanket offering doesn't go far enough, even though it's nice. So it's messy. And maybe that's going to be the message of today's elder care, is that becoming an elder is messy, getting old is messy, caring for an elder person can be messy. And remember, I'm not saying they're not also blessings and great gifts involved in all of this. I'm not saying that at all. But I want us to get the complete range of some of the challenges that can occur, and then some of the opportunities. Again, if we're not yet old, but because I've reached a certain age, I am in that category. Now, I am working at becoming an elder so that hopefully I have something to share, to turn around and share with others. So we'll see. We'll see if that bears fruit, something like that. So again, what is the bigger overall is probably what are the needs of each individual, whether they're 25, 35. I mean, we could have developmental needs, we could have physical needs, we could have emotional, mental needs that leave us vulnerable and that require us to have special consideration. And so being aware being aware of the people around us and what they might benefit from, um, as a way of support. Um, I'm grateful for the hour that I can go to the market with less people there, because I really, really have trouble breathing in the mask. My glasses get all clogged and fogged, and it's definitely not pleasant, but it's purposeful, and I am able to not come across a lot of people, and that's still important, even today. If I were having a little bit more trouble getting up and out of bed, I probably would prefer more of about a 10 a.m. time frame, because my day would start later, most likely. There's a good possibility, and yet I will take that non 10 a.m. Hour. How about the people in your life? Is this a support to them? Is this helping them? But what I'm really getting to is another point, which is concessions that we make for people's special needs, and condensation. And a lot of times those individuals who are elder, even though the people don't mean to, there is really a, I don't say dumbing down, but a lack of respect for the age. In other words, when you see an elder person, and yes, I have been guilty of it. Hi, honey. Hi, sweetheart. How are you today? Well, that's not respectful. I mean, it's personal. You feel like you can say that with someone because you feel, for some reason, tender towards them. But that's definitely something we would want to be aware of, and try to keep the respect there, and not the familiarity. One of the other aspects that I wanted to share today has to do with the physical challenges that come with being an elder, and how it becomes much easier. Let's say that you do have a companion that goes with you to help you if you're in a wheelchair, or you just can't quite get in and out, and so there's someone there with you, a companion, or second set of ears. And the person doing the interview, whether it's a doctor, a nurse, a banker, whatever it might be, does not look at the elder person, but rather looks at their companion with them. And that's happened to me and my mom a lot, and so it's kind of like every time that happens, I'm like, no, you need to look at her, because she knows more than I do. She's sharp. So there's that almost like a built-in expectation that isn't tested first. Obviously, if someone isn't 100% cognizant, you will start to figure that out. Things like hearing. Also had this experience where the provider is way over on the other side of the little space, looking at the computer, face turned away, asking questions. I'm like, she can't hear you. She can't hear you. Oh. So for convenience, right? Get things done. There's that automatic, let me just do things the way I always do with every single person that comes into my space. But there are factors that need to come into play, and we need to be more aware of the possibility. I mean, this can happen to anyone. I mean, we can lose our hearing at any age, right? But as we age, evidently, our hearing definitely can be on the downside. So, in conversations with the elderly, slowing down, that's an integrative wisdom thing. Slow down, sit directly in front. When I'm a hearing tested and we were talking about, the possibility of losing a little bit of hearing year after year, she said you could start now practicing sitting in front of the person you're talking to and speaking directly. And then when I went home for the next forever, and we still do it, that is so hard to do. It's so hard to do, it seems. I'm running in the other room, you're in that room, and we're trying to talk to each other. And our hearing is not necessarily that great sometimes. So practice speaking to someone, which is really good anyway for communication. The visual, what's happening here, besides the words that are being spoken. But definitely for those of us that are getting a little bit older, that would be very helpful, I think. Recognizing that vision isn't what it used to be, and that even comprehension, like reading, paper and things of that nature, may take longer, may be much more challenging, and yet we don't want to feel stupid. We're not. So finding ways to pay attention to those factors for the elderly. And then just going back to, what is it that makes an elder, or an old person anyway? And how are we going to know what an individual might need, right? So again, these are powers of discernment and a willingness to look a little bit more closely and be willing to take the extra time to do an assessment in a way, a casual assessment when you see someone. Might they need you to take their elbow or their hand? Maybe. Do they want you to? Maybe. Ask, may I help you? Would you like a hand? No, thank you. Oh, okay, good. But at least you've observed, you haven't just assumed, and unless you can see they're going to fall flat on their face, give them that space. So I have been rambling, I'm sure. And yet I think there's wisdom here. I think there's good information here. And so hopefully it may help somebody if they're going about their day, or it may help, tomorrow. May help tomorrow. It may help next month. When you suddenly find that person in your life is now old or an elder, or you realize that you're crossing that line. And you're hoping that the people that are going to be there for you have learned some of this stuff, right? Okay, that's it for today. Again, I hope everyone is safe. And again, as always, if you have any questions, send me a message and I will do my best to be of service. All right, everybody, take care. Bye-bye.